Alright, we're alive. Welcome to this slipstream. Welcome to the live crowd and welcome to the lurking afterwards crowd. Yes, I know who you are. Welcome. And join me today in a evening of chill cups of tea. Hot cups of tea. And kittens, which I'm currently transferring onto transfer paper because I had sketched it out on the paper, and of course I didn't center it, and I was looking for my transfer tablet, which I couldn't find. So then we go old school and tracing paper. Oh no, how dare you trace your own traceable stuff. Yes, because I can't be arsed to resketch it from scratch. I could do that one, but I would like to paint during the stream as well. And like this I can also edit some errors out of it, if there are some. Such as I don't like the curve of the tail here. So we have our kitty here, because of course I, stupidly enough, I have a couple of cat sketches that I did. Like, yeah, here's another one that I'm not super happy with, but whatever. But I wasn't certain whether I was going to place it like so, or whether I was going to place it in landscape. And let's see what looks best now. I think I'm going to go for landscape. Yeah, I'm going to go for a landscape one. Note to self, remove all traces of pencil. I'm going to go for a landscape one. This is Nyx, Mistress of the Night, munching on the moon after she caught it. But I need to trace it. I need to transfer it. Haha! And well, I will teach you young crazy peeps how I do that one. Because I think schools that taught you that once you have traced, you flip over the paper and you just rub over the background. Which is nice, but then I have a mirror. Number one, I have a mirrored image, and number two, I can only use this tracy thingy once, which I don't like. So what I tend to do is I take a paper that is ready to be scrapped, because it is going to transfer. And I'm taking an extremely fatty pencil. In this case, something like, if it's readable, come on you bastard, focus, focus, focus. Yeah, in any case, it's a 6B, 8B, a nice, really, because they smudge easily, and that's what you want. I will do the drawing 3 times actually, twice in the right direction, the first time when I traced it, and then now to just outline where I want to. When I was first taught to do this one at school, they told us to just, rub over it, which works as well, don't get me wrong. However, I don't like that one because it's extremely messy, it smudges like mad. And yeah, I like to keep these ones as well for reference and whatnot, if it's for a commission, if I've sketched it somewhere. And like the Gengar I did a couple of months ago, was also, I had my initial sketch, and then I went like, feels a bit off. So what did I do? I decided to just transfer every character individual, and then with this kind of paper you can easily pose them and set them according to how you want them. And then transfer them exactly as you want to. So people who are claiming that transferring using transfer paper is cheating have never gone to art school. Yes, 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 we are taught to do things from scratch as well. And I could literally, you know, put like a grid up and trace it by that one. But this will literally take me 5 minutes for a simple outline like this. And yeah. It's also extremely interesting if you want to do like a comic book and you want to do iterations of a character. Then you get, you can do that on, or like animation. Animation used to work on light boxes in the olden days. The hand-drawn ones. I'm not putting super much focus on the moon because the moon, I already get a stripe on my finger because I kept it on here. I'm gonna have to rework, I think, a bit. But I promised I was going to kawaii-fy, Ghibli-fy rather, Nix. Well, there was an idea during a stream a while back, so let me do that one. Once I have done this one, there is one more commission I'm going to do. And then I think I will be taking a break from traditional painting. I feel like my creative juices need different outflow. So I might go back to photography for a while or whatnot, or just do music or whatever, but I'm just... It no longer gives me the same joy and energy. It's sketching and painting are tools to an end, but not the end step, if that one makes sense. I mean, sketching for me means to get an idea onto paper, but I feel like doing stuff like lino cutting or something where I can just be a tad more with it. I don't know. Feel free to let me know what you think. So now I have a gentle trace of the sketch on this paper, if it's visible. Don't really use this one, but these ones I keep because if there's ever a question from a customer about X, Y, or Z, no, this one is better. Then I still have it, or I can reproduce it and stuff. So I tend to keep these ones a while. So, the top sketch was the first line out was a simple HB pencil, my standard sketch pencil. The back side was a very greasy one because technically I can just rub with my finger over it and it will be transferring. Let's not, because I wanted exact lines. So we just do the same again. Vegas. It's going to be a bit of an interesting challenge, this one, because I still want to tweak some details. But now I have, you know, as the gist down. And can look further at things. Also, this one also works if you use an extremely greasy pencil like I did to transfer onto canvas. So yes, sneaky tricks from art school. Well, I think, you know, everyone kind of learns how to use tracing paper, no? Isn't that like a universal thing you learn in like elementary schools and stuff? I would assume so. Let me just see right, what I've done already and what not. But the idea is to have complete openness and honesty with everything we do with Augie's brush. Hence, I'm not going to hide that I'm doing this technique because number one, it's an acceptable technique. Number two, we want to teach people some stuff as well. And also, there is no perfect way in making art. Everyone has their own versions of it. And there are so many techniques that can be used and whatnot, then, you know. I mean, there is a program called, I think, Da Vinci Eye, where you can trace by, I think you put your phone in a specific angle so you can look at the screen of your phone, but it superimposes the page you're painting on or sketching on. I tried to do that one once when I started doing some digital stuff and went like, oh, let's see how it works. Now, for those who remember how well it went to do Procreate first time, I can tell you that I gave up on that one. So yeah. Just checking whether my pencil is doing what it should do. And my dogs and husband have arrived. But yes, kawaii-fi a cat. I was supposed to. I could have gone portrait mode. I think Nix is Norwegian Forest or Maine Coon. I can't remember. And none of the photos showed me really what color eyes she has, so that one I need to ask her mistress. But yes. Now, if I would have just used my light box, then I would have not had any issues with this one, and I would not have had to do it 3 times, which is the advantage of the light box. And then I would have kept my paper sketch. But since I've done the effort of transferring here, behold the beholder, we have a vague outline. Oh no, time for a sip of tea. And let's work this kitty up. Now, the difficult bit with this one is going to be Nix is black. As black as they can get. Black with grays, you know, typical And I'm making the hair a bit wilder because it's more fun like that. A bit of like, you know, lynx fluffy bits in the ears. All Borgs are voluntarily and sponsored completely by Beagle Corp. Do I have my little paddle here? I do not. Das ist scheiße. I should have a sandpaper paddle. That is your kitty. I said I was going to giblify her. I'll give you a good look at how she is because I've just transferred her. But that is Nyx, Mistress of the Night. Transferring to watercolor paper. And it's awesome that you joined because you can answer a very important question. What color eyes does she have? Yellow. Oh, that's nice. Let me write that one down before I forget it. It is a stove moment.
I am the stove master.
You are the stove master. Welcome back from the rain and hell.
It was less rain than unexpected. It was good. Mostly it was the boy running.
So yellow. I'll go for a nice warm amber color for the eyes. It's gonna be, the interesting bit will be, I'm going to do a completely black cat. Well, black grayish. So I'm gonna work with some gray tones in this one as well to make it work.
It's kid day.
As she should be. But this week not on call, so I can work in peace and quiet on things here. Yay! Someone else of my colleagues who gets called, or who got called this morning, so I am. The moon a bit for what it is because I need to see whether I can get the one a bit more properly balanced. Need to give whiskers as well though, but do I have anything in the right size circle wise? Bowl mug. The show. I don't know. So I will free-handed. It's gonna be fine. Well, you know, kitty's gonna kitty. None of the cats would be interested in things neither.
Cat not interested in the glow box. I have questions.
We had, in Sweden, we had our cat Banshee and we were watching Lord of the Rings. And there is this scene in the first movie where they are in the mines of Moria and they're going to the bridge of Khazad-dûm, and you know, the goblins get alerted and they crawl over the ceiling, kind of like spiders and whatever would. And at that point, you know, Banshee just jumped at the TV and started bapping it like, oh my god, bugs! Which was kind of funny. Complete psycho, that cat. Alright. I'm gonna move this mug out of the way, otherwise I'm gonna keep trying to drink from it, and there is nothing in there, which is a disappointment when you reach it. Okay. So yes, it's gonna be a black cat, so I'm gonna go for a purpley background. Because it is in space, I assume, because she is eating or nibbling on the moon.
No, what was that? That's smell I don't like.
Let me just get some purples. Yeah.
That was the scent of cat food, but I can't find it in here, so...
One of them farted?
No.
David, don't so loud. Sorry, it's...
Not fart.
Alright, let's put the background in. I am, however, going to write her name on it as well. Because... so I can leave a little bit of space for that one. And I have an idea where I need to leave white. I will calligraphy it a bit better than later, but let's get the paper moist and wet. Moist, for those who hate that word. I have no issues with it. I personally think the word damp is worse. So yes. So they were running like mad outside?
Mm-hmm.
Good. They needed a bit of...
Peanut got him to run.
By running himself, or?
Yeah. He completely exhausted himself. It was fun. Oh, it was fun for me.
Alright. So as I said in the beginning of the stream, for those who watch later, they will, you know, already hear it. Otherwise, you know, I'm just repeating it. But this is my penultimate painting for a while. I have one more that I'm doing for a friend, which is an actual commission. And then I'm going to just take a small break from painting and focus on other bits of art, because I just, oh, it no longer gives me the wow, I've painted vibe. It just gives me a, it means to an end. Yeah, I've painted something, but now I want to do something more with it. So I'm also trying to get the glass work thing set up in the garage here, the lamp work one, and just do something a bit more with my hands than just painting alone. We'll see where it leads.
Some are good.
And Dee will take over some of these classic streams as well, which is good because he needs a bit practice in the classic arts of arts.
I need the arts.
So if everyone remembers how well the Procreate one went for me, then you can see how well, you know, analog goes for David. It will be fun. Break out the popcorn.
Bring out your bed.
Feel free to mock.
Yes, please.
Yeah, glasswork, like lamp work, making beads and small jewelry type things. Like, you know, melting glass rods into more or less functional things, or not functional things. Not all art needs to be functional, although I do like that one. Yes, I always like to be busy with my hands, and I'm just gonna put my camera a bit lower. And I don't mind painting and stuff, and for a while it was really nice, and I was really, you know, I clear mine out regularly. It's the advantage of having a non-binary eldest who adopts quite often bits of mine as well. There is times where I've, you know, but you're not at 400 pair of earrings yet, so there is room for more. That is,
Everything needs to sink in.
what are they doing?
I don't know.
Hold a second, I'm just gonna. I should get me a pair of orc earrings.
Yes.
Or make one myself. Little squid ones. That one should be possible to do.
Cool.
That should be possible to do in lamp work because they're kind of round in shape. I need to get the Bunsen burner, and I need to get the goggles. The rods aren't really that expensive. I love your sex tape. But it's the initial setup. It's like the Bunsen burner is a good one is like 200-300 euros. And then you need, of course, gas and oxygen, which also adds to the startup cost. I mean, doing stuff like silversmithing and stuff seems interesting as well, but I am not setting up a forge in my house.
Your youngest might.
Yeah, but my youngest does metal work. I decided to, you know, there were a couple of interesting, like silver clay you could play around with and stuff, but that one just didn't really do anything. I got a nice design on it, because sculpting is after all not something I'm super shitty at. And I fired it and it just melted all away, so silver clay is not something I want to do. If anything, I'll just anneal silver myself or something. Yeah, our youngest here does welding, and he already has shitloads of tools. He has like his welding posts and anvils and chisel. Courtesy of my dad. Credit where credit is due. And although Peanut's not really a salamander player, he's more Adeptus Mechanicus in Titans.
Iron Hands.
Hmm?
Iron Hands.
Is he playing Iron Hands at the moment in the game?
No, but he is more like an Iron Hands.
Fair point. If anything, he would set up a forge more like, you know, Chaos Dwarves, who go like, oh, demons, they're good fuel. Demons are batteries.
Your son would take the dogs and hook them up to use their farts as fuel.
Yeah, it's so sad we no longer have a French bulldog, because that was the fart master. Mm-hmm. Jesus Christ. Iron Hands are not very nice. I always mix them up with the, you have the Iron Hands and you have their counterparts. Iron Warriors?
Yes.
Sorry, brain, not braining. It's been a long weekend and I need to work tomorrow, so brain not doing brain things.
Brain must not be thing.
Apart from the salamanders, you know, the average Space Marine squad is just... Well, white scars I can imagine still being semi-okay. At least they have a sense of humor.
Mm.
I mean, if an ultramarine even dares to crack a smile, you know, you have someone going like, heresy! Going full Leandrus on that bitch. Kinda. Call the Inquisition, he smiled.
Him smiled.
The Codex Astartes does not approve of this facial expression. It's also safe to say that no Iron Warriors are being played in this house.
Nope.
He does have a bunch of Skitari, if I'm not mistaken,
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. And he has like a knight.
Yeah, it was more a reference to which of the Space Marine chapters he would be.
I think the entire internet agrees that fuck Leandros is indeed the way to go. And then you have like, what bugs me the most is then you have the die-hard players go like, no, he's only doing what a good one would do, and you know it's kind of what they're trained to do, and I'm going like, fuck you, come on. Torquemada was a cunt as well. We can say that one. Come on.
It's okay to say.
I hated him in the first game, and I still do in the second one. He's more a religious zealot in the second one, as if he tries to convince himself that he did right, and but in the first game he was such a prissy, whiny little bitch. Oh my fucking god. Yeah, well, the codex are guidelines, not like, not every situation is explained in the codex. Use your fucking common sense, but that's not what Daddy Emperor would want. Or something.
No, it is what Daddy Emperor would want.
It is what Daddy Emperor would want, but it's not what people think that Daddy Emperor wants, if we're still going in the same train of thought. I steeped my mate proper, and it's one of the nicest things to drink. Alright. Dry. Come on. Dry.
Dry, motherfucker.
Dry, motherfucker. And other metal classics.
Yes.
So yes, if we manage to get together to play a game of Kill Team, I'll bring Nyx.
You will bring what? You will bring what?
Nyx.
Nyx.
The cat.
Nyx. Oh yes, sorry.
It's
My bad.
is really good. You need to make it proper, because if you don't make it proper, it just tastes bitter. If you're really interested in Hoogstraat, you have over where, I don't know what they're called now. They used to be called the Billenkletser, the little brown pub on the corner. On the cross from there you have an empanadas place called Todas Empanadas.
Yes.
And they sell
The good
mate,
stuff.
and you can also get mate there. So if you really want to drink it the way you know, check out their yeah, I want to try to play. I might get the orcs. I've been doubting between the orcs and the Tau, but people want like, no, go for the orcs, they're more fun. And I want like, get the Tau as the second one. And apparently there's another orc one coming out, so I'm like, okay, fine, I'll have 3 armies. Well, 3 teams. It seems like a fun thing to try, and if it doesn't work out, I just have extra miniatures that I can always put in an army somewhere and go like, look, 20 points extra because I have a grot with an arm extra or whatever. So it will be fine. I just no longer have the stomach to play long campaigns. That's why I like Underworld. Because they're like 40 minutes. But they are finished.
Eight finished minutes. You can use 8 minutes in Underworld.
And it just,
Underworld.
seems like a fun thing to do, and if we can just set up like we meet up once a month somewhere and just, you know, play a game or something, you know, or just hang out and chat, also work for me. It's just nice that it seems to be a safe space and a fun safe space, even though we tend to go a bit more lopsided towards Skaven and Nurglings. But it will fade out into something less and more all around. It was a couple of weeks ago, I was showing off some painted minis to colleagues because, you know, what do you talk about during lunch? I wasn't really interested in politics. And a colleague going like, oh my god, you play that one, huh? You know, and you could just go like, you know, the initial like, why? And I'm like, because I've been doing them since '92, painting them and collecting them and whatnot. Oh. And what does your husband do? And I'm like, you know, well, he painted for Games Workshop once and stuff, but that's not the reason why I game. Yeah. How much do you have? And I think I want like 5,000-6,000 points in orcs at least. I haven't counted them recently. And he just went like, wait, what? And I'm like, what do you play? Turns out he plays Lord of the Rings.
Oh.
And I'm like, you know, like, and I went like, oh. A little in Flemish went like, dat is ook een optie. Thank you. I hope you will like her when she's finished, but I need to have patience because it's wet and I don't want to ruin things. Title of the sex tape.
Yes.
I think we might still have a frame at home where she fits in.
Most likely. Frames everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, yeah, the downside of working in IT and especially in the sector that I work in is that you're dealing with white cis men and like, you know, usually, you know, the elder generation. I am one of the more younger ones in my team. She's fucking insane if I think about it. My previous job, I was like, you know, one of the older ones. I'm used to getting comments like that, you know, ever since the 90s. I would enter a tournament with, you know, my orcs and, you know, the first thought was like, we're gonna just kick your arse. And he's like, sure, laddie. And then when I turned 16 and I had a quite good figure, I just, you know, went with a low-cut t-shirt or an extremely short shorts, and, you know, it worked to, you know, get an advantage as well. Not proud of that one, but it worked.
Should be proud of that one.
I wouldn't do that one now. I think now, you know, my current postpartum body, I think I'm more like, you know, Nurgle's blessing, ah!
You still get an advantage though.
It still gives an advantage, I give you that one. I'm very comfortable in my body. But it's funny. I'm just putting a bit black pencil on the outline. That is not watercolor. So this one will not fade when I'm starting to fill in, I guess. And in tradition to how I usually paint things, I'm gonna paint the moon in a metallic silver because I like the magpie in me must be satisfied, so there must be an advantage is an advantage, yes. It reminds me of the we were in the city having a pint, and there were some homophobic people around, and we just started talking, about, annoying homophobes in English, and someone walks past, and we were talking about what kind of, and we just go like, yeah, but what attracts you? Are you a butt or a boob man, kind of? And I went like, yeah, well, for me, in women, and I went like, well, for me, bum, I like, really nice shaped, derriere. And he said something, I can't remember what he said. And then I responded with the Mr., the variant of the Mr. Incredible meme, like, us is us. And they were just so confused, the table behind us. It was just hilarious. Then you just want to go like, and what have you learned today, little boys? Because we are weirdos.
Don't mess with the best.
Don't go for the bisexual crowd. We are weirdos. So yes.
What are the bisexual crowds? We'll see.
But a silver moon feels appropriate. The silver moon. Yeah. My motto is usually live and let live, but if you're openly trying to be provocative and annoying people, then, I will use my white privilege for good, and up the Karen. And I have the luck of having, a voice that I can make heard. And will I change those bigots' minds? Nope. But other people who are there will actually get a realization that, not everyone is like that. And it's not okay to be like that. So, once a mom, always teaching the children how to behave. Being married to a teacher doesn't really help much neither in that sense, but
I know what you're talking about.
yeah, a religion and philosophy teacher, yay, those are the fun ones.
Yes.
Like the rule in our house is David is no longer allowed to invite Jehovah's Witness and stuff
I
in.
find that one a very, very bad rule.
No, you do not invite them in. I do not want them in my house.
But they be crying. I find that one annoying.
If Nix would have been white, he could have just gone like, you know, ta-da! Finished.
Finished.
But no, you had to get a black cat, didn't you? Okay. Yeah, we have a meeting point quite close by. And for a while we even had on our door a sign saying, in this house we worship the old gods, not the new. No, no, we hung it on the inside because it blew off the door. And the fuckers took that one as an invite to knock the door. Yeah, but it invited us because you're talking about gods. Void kitties are the best. Well, void kitties are good. I have currently 3 tricolored bastards in the house and 1 like, you know, average. Swedish would be like farmer's cat. He's like part tiger, part white. But I'm a sucker for gingers. I've always had gingers. I was going to look up quickly. So the photos. So really black, bit of so black. I'm gonna start with dark gray. I have to say though, you know, volunteering in the shelter, I can really appreciate that black cats are getting past the. Yeah, no, I was just. I wasn't sure whether the chest and the paws were pale or not, but no, she's a proper void kitty. We see less of the bullshit that people don't adopt black cats. Thanks to social media as well, because there's been lots of campaigning about, you know, like, you know, the positivity of black cats, which I can only applaud. But now we notice that the ones who actually stay more, orange cats, they're gone immediately. Any type of breed cat, yeah, they're kind of, everybody wants them. However, your average tabbies, you know, your grey tigers, they kind of stay around long because they're boring. Yeah, I'm not gonna put 1 or 2 white hairs in there, but I'm not gonna make it completely black here because that's. I'm gonna mix around with some colors. But yes. So we see that, you know, currently the ones who actually stay the longest tend to be, you know, your dime a dozen type cats. Unless they're kittens, then kittens are usually gone quite fast as well. Yeah, and I also like that it's been a bit more of like a feministic symbol, like, you know, it's been so long associated with, you know, witchcraft and other things that, you know, women also deliberately look for black cats to just, you know, give society the finger.
Always give society the finger.
And I'm like, I'm all up for it. Okay, let me move my tea here because this is dangerous, putting my tea next to my paint water. Yeah, I can imagine that one around the Mediterranean is still a thing. Any type of like grey colored, like, you know, Russian blue or British short hair, those type of greys are, they usually go very fast as well. Because there is, you know, it's silly as it is, but you know, it's good that they're gone fast. They don't need to be in the shelter unnecessary, but I find it, people are actually adopting cats with a perspective of like, I need to, how will it look on photos? And yes, it's shallow, don't get me wrong, but on the other hand, are we really gonna deny someone an adoption of a cat because they are perfect cat owners otherwise, but they just want a cat that looks good on photos as well? No. There are too many cats in the shelter right now because people still don't spay and neuter them. So yes. First layer of a bit of red on it, and I'm gonna darken it a bit, but I like the ears to be red brownish on the inside. I don't want to go for just grey because that's a bit boring. So very well done of your friend to adopt 3 of them. Sarah Cockwell, she writes for Black Library and stuff as well. She adopted, her cat passed away like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yes.
She was really upset, which understandable, don't get me wrong. And they have 2 void kitties, Shadow and Phantom.
Yes.
So yes. They're not hard to photograph. It's just a matter of, you know, learn some basic lighting skills. I mean, you know. Also, a miniature Black Panther in the house is fun. My sister lost hers, her eldest. 2 months ago. It was like 15, 16. So, yeah. That was normally black cats are quite sociable. They're like, you know, hi, I'm here, I'm just chilling. Personalities. Never had issues with the black cat, except my sister's, because oh my fucking god, that cat was... Kuro was horrible. Yeah, cat sat when she went to Italy a couple of years ago, and you come in there and the other cats are like, meow, meow, attention, food, and then you just stay there for a couple of hours, you know, cuddle the cats, you know. Except that one fucker, oh my fucking god. That cat was just... Give treats, she bites you. Oh, good afternoon or good morning. You are very so close yet so far off. It's evening here, but you know, welcome. So I usually say hello when I enter the chat because then, you know, you're certain that you hit the right spot. If it bothers you. But yes, after this one, I'm going to finish the other one, or start with the other one, which is a fairy tale forest. And the problem with that one is I have too many ideas, which is shit, because then I need to choose, which is special in its own way. Yeah, Salbert, not an issue. Now, question, is it Salbert or is it Salbert?
Salbert.
Salbert, alright. We make an effort in pronouncing it correct. Well, I always make an effort in pronouncing it correct, but if I now know what it is. The man, the myth, the legend is working in the background here.
I do no such thing.
I should go like, what am I, chopped liver?
It's funny because it says watching without audio. How do you hear the man, the myth, the legend if you're watching without audio? I can see that one in the Twitch stream.
Ah, kinky.
Aha.
It's magic.
It's very magic. Happy birthday.
Ooh, a very happy birthday. And to everyone else, a very happy birthday. To quote Alice in Wonderland. Now I'm thinking that I'm going to focus a bit more on my photography and other arts as well. But yeah, setting up the glass thing is definitely a thing I want to do in 2025. And then, you know, curse myself because of all the burn wounds that I get. The goal is to make a pair of squig earrings in glasswork. That's the first goal.
He's very cute, cat. By the way.
Ah, thank you. Both Salbert and
The man.
the myth.
The legend.
The legend. Sorry. I'm not gonna go pitch black. I'm just gonna go with gray tones and darken things up and so on, because just pitch black is, you know, yes, I'm not doing a woodcut, I'm doing a watercolor, so it's more fun to play around with things like that. Ooh, Flamigel. It is the staple in Belgian households. Every household needs to have that one. That one and Vicks Vapor Rub. I actually, you know, I don't think I have Flamigel actually at the moment. I use mostly aloe when I have burns. Which happens remarkably often. Not like, you know, on a weekly basis or something, but, you know, it's one of those things that you don't really, you know, adulthood, you don't get prepared for that one, the amount of times you burn yourself on stupid things.
Have a nice rest of your birthday, Salbert.
All right. Enjoy. See you next time. I do like how the tail has like a very fluffy, plumy vibe though.
Yes, I like that one as well.
So I think I'm going to leave it with grey tones actually. Because it makes it a whole lot fluffier. Makes it seem like there is a really like a thick winter fur under it. Because if black cats get a proper winter coat like Norwegian forest cats do and stuff, they get more greyish because the underwool is very, very white. I am very appreciative of all long-haired cats that aren't the smushy-faced ones, aka no Persians. Because those poor things, they just suffer. It's like French bulldogs, and I'm like, mostly people get them and don't realize how bad, they kind of have it. I've never had a long-haired cat. My parents had a Maine Coon. Well, a couple of Maine Coons actually. And never had issues with grooming, ever. But Persians, they kind of have them on because they, with their flat snouts and stuff, they just can't reach everywhere. So yes. I'm not saying I'm for cat eugenics, but some breeds really should be modified so that they're a bit better. Well, people should be modified, not the breeds. Yeah, I know. It's never the cat's fault, and whenever I see one come in at the shelter, it's like my heart, really goes out to them and go like, oh. But it's not their fault, but it just makes me just so angry at the stupidity of people. Like currently we have 2 puppies in. Well, we have more puppies because one of the dogs I was pregnant gave birth 3 weeks ago. But there are 2 puppies that were dropped off, and they are, I shit you not, a mix of Husky, Labrador, Staffordshire, and Mechalor Malinois. Who on earth decides to take the 4 biggest high energy breeds and go like, let's make puppies? It's always people's fault. It's never the animal's fault. So I'm quite a big fan of, restrictions on specific breeds, simply because at least then the animals won't suffer because people breed them en masse. And I know that's a controversial take because I usually get like the Persian people after me or the Scottish fold people, but oh yeah, no, it's literally, they're up on our Facebook and on the adoption sites. It's someone decided that one was a good idea to have, to mix those dogs, and the puppies that are there are literally take all the bad traits from every dog and you have them because they have so much energy, and a shelter is not a good place to bring up a dog with. We do our best, don't get me wrong, and but it's that is the ADD version of a dog. I saw that one pop up and I went like, so does the adopter get like a year's supply of volume with the dogs?
Xanax.
I'm like, and it's sad because it's not the dog's fault, and kudos on the people who actually can take those cases on successfully, and there are people who can, canicross people and whatnot, but There's a reason why I'm slightly misanthropic sometimes. Well, most of the time. That is because working in a shelter, well, volunteering in a shelter doesn't always bring out your most people-loving side.
Excuse me.
Gesundheit.
Gesundheit. Thank you.
Now, don't get me wrong, shelters need to be there for a reason. You never know if, grandma got taken to hospital and can no longer take care of her dog and nobody in the family is, those are situations that I have complete and utter understanding for. Or like, went through a divorce and, all of a sudden I'm a single mom with 3 children and, then having, a beagle puppy is just too much. I get that one, That's why we have shelters. And, we're there to help. But, oh my fucking god, the other stuff. Can do a stream purely with shelter tales and, yeah, I agree with that quote. Do a stream purely where, everything monetary gets, donated to the shelter and just got shelter stories. Because in like the 3 years I've been volunteering, the shit sometimes we have seen is I think my music stopped. Let me just check. How dare it? Does it have no sense of self-esteem? Most people in our circle of friends are and acquaintances are not per se animal lovers, but everyone's kind of agreeing on the fact that treat anything living being with kindness.
Yeah.
And if you can't do that one, get the fuck out.
And stay away from living beings.
Remove yourself from the evolutionary.
Remove yourself from the equation.
Yeah. Okay. We are a bunch of but I read today that the last of the dolphinariums in Belgium has to close, and I'm like, it's about fucking time. They're upset about it. Oh, how sad.
Very sad.
Yeah, very sad. How about let's lock you up in a small apartment. You guys everyone went bananas during COVID because you weren't allowed to do anything.
It's tradition.
Let's take a highly intelligent animal and put it in the equivalent of solitary confinement. No thank you. Cats should be spoiled. Well, if you get a pet, you should spoil it. Otherwise, there is no point in getting a pet. That is my opinion, and that's kind of how our family works as well. And some pets are easier to spoil than others, don't get me wrong. Fafnir is the easiest one. Well,
Fafnir is the best.
Fafnir is the best.
Best pet.
Our snake, well, by now it's the snake because he's, doing more with him, and every time he sees me, he fucking hisses, the bastard.
That's a good snake.
Yeah, I agree. Sea life should be in the ocean. It's no longer of this time. It's like circuses with animals. It's like, I mean, there used to be a time when, people thought it was okay to own enslaved people. We kind of went away from that one as well, so,
Although apparently there are influencers that think that it should get back to it.
That it should what?
I just saw that there are influencers that think that we should go back to that one. That, well, their comment was slavery should be decided by the states.
Why am I not surprised?
In the same way that reproduction should be individually decided by states. Or some such shit.
Can we like just drop a bomb on some people?
We could, but it's frowned upon.
It's frowned upon, yeah. Paradox of tolerance, you know. Screw you. At a specific point, you know. It's still 2024. The bell rights can still happen, I'm just saying. Where is fucking Cisco when you need him? Okay, obscure Star Trek references for those who...
Let me look it up.
Well, with all the facial recognition thingy, you know, maybe we can find Cisco.
We can.
I'm go like, dude, prod him with a stick. Yeah, it's a trend going around that the extreme right versions of social media, after the your body, my rules bullshit, there are those who go, you know, are proclaiming that one. So far, no politicians yet.
Here's the thing I was talking about. Conservative influencer Emily Wilson was being questioned on the One Night with Steiny podcast by liberal influencer Dean Withers about abortion rights. But when Withers turned the topic to a hypothetical questions about slavery, Wilson's answer left him and viewers horrified. She said, she's a MAGA conservative. She said that the states should be allowed to legalize slavery if they feel like it, and is so certain she's right, she's willing to be on record about it for the rest of her life.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call a dumb cunt. But unfortunately, since that, you know, jar has been opened, other idiots will take over that rhetoric. Didn't like their entire country go to war over that stuff?
Yes, it
like something like civil war?
Civil war.
Or something?
Yeah.
You know, north and south. You know, south. Look it up. It has Patrick Swayze in it.
Patrick Swayze was in that one.
And some other ones, but I only remember Patrick Swayze. Yes, I'm that old.
You can only remember the Swayze.
You only remember the Swayze. Yeah, you know, why am I not surprised, to be quite honest, you know? Those people saw The Handmaid's Tale and went like, you know, oh my god, look, a manual. And go like, no, it's not a manual, it's a cautionary tale, you douchebags.
Yeah, it's the idiocracy all over again.
I also found it funny because apparently Clownface from Foxdick had said, you know, to the UK, like, yeah, you know, just join us, you know, join the free trade, you know, take a step away from, you know, socialist Europe. And I'm like, you know, yeah, let's ignore your close neighbors and, you know, go with the wacky uncle. Mm-hmm. Sure.
I'm also always amazed by the American complete ignorance about what actually socialism is versus what communism is versus what other forms of, because in America they fully believe that Democrats are close to socialists, and they think that socialism is communism, like where everything is owned by the state and, you know, the state sees everything and you can't have it. I'm like, that's not what socialism is.
Yep.
We shouldn't talk about politics.
We shouldn't talk about politics. We don't talk about Bruno.
I get so angry when I talk about that.
Yeah, I know. So do I. Rage.
The rage is real.
The rage is fucking real. I'm gonna give it a black outline though, because it's just gonna be more comic. hang. Dry. I'm willing it to dry. Yeah, but if you live in a country where you only have two political systems, then you know.
You're already disadvantaged.
Yeah, plus it's kind of funny because discussion I've had with, you know, lots of American friends is like, how can you have so many political parties in Belgium? You know,
yeah, Belgium is an exception.
yeah, but you know, how does your country work? You know, it's like with other politicians, very well. We were without the government for so long. I can make her eyes because this bit is going to be black because that's the pupil. I can give her golden eyes for the James Bond vibe.
Yeah.
Let me just see what I can do with. I have some gold. If that's okay with you. Alright, let me just give it a bit of an outline. Now, when I hand her over to you, there's going to be a bit of care tips on how to deal with metallic gold it is, how to care for watercolor, because you just can't hang her anywhere and you will go like she's a cat, she will go like you can't tell me what to do. However, if you hang watercolor in sunlight, it will fade, and it fades quite fast. So a nice spot, not under a lamp directly, but
It's okay, Red. Better late than never.
it doesn't need to be in a dark room, but just don't hang it directly under a spotlight or put a spotlight directly on it. You can do that one if you get UV resistant glass. There is specific glass you can get if you go to like a proper frame shop that is has a UV filter, a UV blocker in it. That's the word I was looking for. And then you can kind of hang it, but because it's UV light that's damaging. Same applies for inks actually. That's why I tend to use, these ones are good ones, these ones are archival grade inks. Or sumi, Japanese inks. Okay, you're still a bit too moist. You should hang her somewhere where you can actually enjoy her, don't get me wrong, but it's, you know, well, you know, you can hang her exactly where you want to, but if you want to enjoy her for as long as possible with nice vibrant colors, then no direct sunlight is kind of the rule. I'm going to make this pupil a bit bigger. But I usually hand over a bit of instructions on how to take care of your adopted thing, because I could also be mean and just go like, yeah, you know, I don't, and then it fades and then people have to come back for more, but you know, I'm not like that.
We don't do that.
I've done my fair share of actual pet portraits as well, and you know, then it's really important to just have people have the right information. A hallway is usually a very smart spot. Sometimes people go like a bathroom as well. Toilets, yes. Bathrooms, not really, because bathrooms are very moist and it is watercolor, and this paper really just goes, there is humidity around. Alright, let me see whether my pen wants to go golden. Yes. Alright, so golden eyes. I can correct some where I went over. That's not the end of the world. I have a fair share of art from friends in our hallway as well, because it is a safe spot. For exactly the same reason. And also when people enter, you can go like, oh behold, look, you look so sophisticated or something. So how is Red doing tonight? We need to have a chat about the coming holidays and how to do things. I do like that she looks delightfully fluffy on paper. Well, in real life as well, but you know. Getting her edges are a bit focused here. Right. That one looks better. I wanted to go for floof, and it is floof with exclamation mark implied. He's going like om nom 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 moon. Right, this one is getting dry. I need to give whiskers as well, I think. Because no cat is a cat without whiskers, I think. Yes. I know that her ears are a bit more black, but to not just go completely grey with things and have a bit of splashes of color. I was planning to do something else. Why is my brain not braining? Whiskers, thank you.
Whiskers. Cookies.
Right, I'll take a very thin one for that one. Yeah, I tried to get a bit of that one, but you know, you also want to be able to see ears, otherwise you just get... That is one of the difficult bits about painting long-haired cats and dogs, is the short-haired dogs are easier and short-haired cats, because you can just get the pattern down correctly, but long-haired ones you really need to get the structure, and the hair just, it naturally forms into like beaks almost, so you get like, and it's, you know, extremely, I can lose hours just painting that one, which can be fun on occasion. On occasion, not always. Alright, let me just go for a silver moon. Right, this is Posca acrylic markers. Problem is, if I go for a silver moon, it's grey on grey. I do have other metallic colors. I can go for a gold moon, a blue moon, or a rosé gold moon. Decisions, decisions, decisions. What do you think?
Me?
Yeah.
Give me 2 seconds. And I shall come and take a look.
Because if I just go like, I put like a small line of silver here, but that silver paint is almost as close in color.
Yeah, no, it needs to be something that stays out. I
Use grey to make the patterns on the moon. Rosé gold seems... I'm just going to put like a small line of rosé gold on the paper here and see how that looks. It's like... Otherwise, bronze.
Yeah, bronze, gold. You have gold in the eyes?
Gold in the eyes.
Gold in the eyes works though, because it will complement those ones. But yeah.
Rosé gold might work as well. Rose gold, not rosé. Rosé is fine. I want rosé now. I want a glass of rosé.
I think we have rosé.
Yeah, I know. It's shit rosé and I don't want to open a bottle.
What do you mean it's shit rosé? It's literally the best rosé.
It's like, you know, Chateau du...
No. We have still one of those from Morocco.
Yeah, I know, but I don't want to open a bottle.
Oh, okay, so.
I said I'm not going to open a bottle for just a simple glass of wine.
Fine.
Rose gold. Right. Maybe just go for rose gold. Get a bit of a contrast happening in the... I will not outline the moon in any color. But yes. I might have to outline the little feet and stuff again, but that's not the end of the world. I just think that a bit of metallic vibe gives some dynamics to. Watercolor paper isn't the best to work with, metallic pens on. Technically leaf gold and stuff would be better, but I do not have any leaf gold.
No. Exactly.
And I do not have any, metallic. I have a golden ink, a Japanese ink, but these ones work as well. They will catch the light, and the pink actually complements the purple quite well. Sometimes it almost seems like I know what I'm doing. Not always, sometimes. It's not 100% Studio Ghiblified because I try to implement a bit of my own style in it. I don't like to just copy styles 100%. Like watching paint dry. Ah! See? I love it when a plan comes together.
It's all coming together now.
I felt it, I sensed it. My telepathic skills were like, yeah, no. Rose gold work. Not at all simply because it was a complementary color in the box. Don't get me wrong, it was pure telepathic skills. At least this one is still semi-okay as a portrait. I have gotten weirder requests. I've gotten requests to paint people's dogs like military portraits. And I'm like, yeah, number one, that's kind of already done. And number two, no. I once had gotten a question for a dude, and then I went like, ew, no. When I was still active on DeviantArt, a dude who wanted his wife's chihuahua in a pinup pose. And I went like, dude, what? No. Maybe one of my colleagues can service you with that one, but no. I got really weird requests there, which they usually found hilarious. And it's also funny because nothing in my portfolio there ever warranted, that kind of stuff. But it has, behold, the shimmer.
It's numbing on the shimmering moon.
The shimmer, noms. Yes, as kittens do. It's also like in that pose, like, the moon has tried to pet its belly and it goes, No. Doing a Duncan Rose here and go like 2 thin layers. Get a bit more. I want it to shimmer. I've seen, and we have, you know, a good friend of us, Gail Price. Oh my fucking god, she's like a mod in one of the biggest Warhammer forums / groups there is.
Yeah.
And the amount of stuff she finds and gets and saves it. At a specific point, she shared Naked Rain from a Crag. That fucking image is still burned on my retina. Because it's ultramarines on stripper poles. Having purity seals on their nipples, doing a dance, and no. This is an A4. It's a bit bigger than an A4, but I'm gonna trim it down so that it's an A4 size. So it's not, so that I don't just give you something that is like naked naked ultramarines, and she shared them with a comment, "Make it rain from a crag," and they're literally pole dancing in like their little space marine undies with the helmet on. I think they have the boots on, the undies on, the helmet.
Yeah.
And they're like buff like mad, and they have like purity seals covering their shame, of course. And I'm like, it's hilarious, but you know, this is like 10-15 years ago or something. So someone actually drew that one. Someone went like, you know what, today I'm gonna draw stripping. It's your choice. Let's see whether I can write the name nicely. And I can write it nicely. Yeah, I'll see whether I can find it. It seems like a fun thing to share in the WhatsApp. To break the Skaven and the Nurglings, let's just have some stripping. I think I saved it somewhere because I just go like, yeah, it might come in handy, you know. I have remarkable lots of, usually the things I save is like people pissing on anything, you know, ultramarines.
Yes.
I am going to put these ones away quickly. What I'm trying to say is we don't get people. Yeah, I need to start sharing more of these kind of things. You know, with the Stormcast.
Yes.
Big one and look, teeny ones, no. And so on. But I only really have time to paint 1 day a week, and I can't really keep up with everything. So yes.
Pretty good though.
Yeah, I know. My pile of shame is shrinking. My pile of shame is shrinking.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I do have my fair share of Stormcast painted already. Just, you know, I'll just randomly share one daily and go like, look, Stormcast, look, other armies, look, other games. But I think I will be nicely rounding this one up in the allotted time slot. A small moon next to, where should I put it? Up here? I can put, one sec, give me 2 seconds and I'll sketch a couple of ones up. I can put a small moon here. That seems like a good one. Mistress of the night.
Neat.
Oh, it seems actually to work. Above the eggs. Yes, but there, because I don't think I can make it smaller without it.
You're gonna make that one rose gold as well?
Yeah, or silver. I can do a small moon right above the eggs. I'm gonna move it back a bit more to the side. It's a bit better there. It follows the curve of the end a bit better.
Yeah.
That one is gonna go silver though, because it fits a bit better with. Awesome. Seeing a couple of white spots on the this one here. I need to just fix, but that's gonna be fine. The downside with using these pencils, with these pens instead of the paints, is that you do get to see every stroke you put down. But you know.
Not really visible on the stream.
No, but it's visible on. For me, it's visible. It's like you know me.
Yeah.
So yes, I'm going to. I have 10 minutes left, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to touch up the outlines and sign it, and then it needs to dry a couple of days before it gets framed, because it's like I said, it's watercolor paper really absorbs water. That's what it's made for. And if I would put it in a frame already, there is a chance that things can get moldy, because it doesn't have space to breathe. So I always let it cure proper. To just make sure that it doesn't get damaged in the frame. And we have quite a lot of frames lying about, so I'll see what I can find that would match. Most of our, well, all our frames are neutral. We have a couple of really frilly ones, they're smaller ones, but they're for like, silly little portraits and stuff we do. Where you just want to go like, I shall be overly pompous. On average, a neutral frame is best. shimmer, shimmer, shimmer. Oh.
Very shimmer.
The magpie in me is satisfied. Come on. Just gonna touch up the edges a bit, if I can find the pen. Oh yeah, put it back. Touch up a bit of here. I just realized that I need to do this one as well to create some uniformity. So I'm not going to outline the moon. I like it as it is because it gives a completely different thing. So I'm going to find a nice dry spot here, sign it, and then I think NYX Mistress of the Night is complete.
Very cute.
And I'm gonna let it dry on the block so that she doesn't warp. But it is a very Thank you. I just, you know, she is very, very fluffy. I'm quite happy with the fluff. So I am going to, I'm not just gonna hang around for 10 minutes because it serves no purpose. I am going to say thank you for all those who were actively chatting, those who were actively lurking, and you're more than welcome.
Active lurkers.
And I would say join next week, same bat time, same bat channel, to see what I'm gonna do with my last commission. And otherwise, you know, Dee will take over some of these streams as well to see what gives. And then we'll take it from there. Have a good and lovely Sunday evening for those who are still enjoying it. And I'll see you around. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Bye.